Successful Christian Living. Welcome to part number 3, lesson number 9 on our course, Successful Living, Christian Living, choosing what influences you. And so in this study, we're going to explore the impact of our choices in shaping our lives as Christians. So pull out your Bible, follow along, and let's get started. I'm going to talk today about, in this lesson segment, choose what you see. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 25 says, "Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee." R.A. Torrey tells the story about a lady who had 2 boys. She dearly wanted to see enter into the ministry. Instead, both boys grew up and became sailors. For years, she wondered why, until it was pointed out that in her living room, she had hanging a beautiful painting of a magnificent ship. Looking at that painting every day of their lives placed in her boys a love for the sea that compelled them to enter into that as a career. We have a far more dangerous type of picture to concern ourselves with these days. However, that is television and movies and what we see on the internet. We're wrecking ourselves spiritually with much of what we see on the television. It's placing thoughts and images in our mind that we may never be able to overcome. All of the stuff with the violent type of shows and then the cartoons these days and the Disney shows, even the news reports and documentaries present things that cause doubt upon the truthfulness of the Bible to creep into our minds. Proverbs 23 and verse 31, "Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth its color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright." This verse says not to even look at alcoholic drinks. There's a power in the suggestion. You watch that TV show where drinking is part of the party. You see that commercial where everyone is having such a good time at the tavern, and there are suggestions there that we should not subject our kids and ourselves to. We can apply that to much more than just alcohol, by the way. We ought not to be looking at anything that is unholy or that's ungodly. Job chapter 31 and verse 1 says, "I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I look upon a maid?" Why then should I think upon a maid? Now, why don't we make a covenant with our eyes that we will not look upon anything that is not right with the Lord? All right, so give you some questions to think about. Number 1, Proverbs 4:21-25 advises us, "Let thine eyes look right on." What's the significance of guidance in our daily lives, and how can maintaining a forward focus influence our thoughts and our actions? Number 2, the story about the lady in the painting highlights the impact of visual influences. How can the choice of artwork, posters, or even decorations in our living spaces affect our desires and aspirations? And what can we learn from this illustration? Number 3, the lesson mentions that the potentially negative influence of television, movies, and internet on our spiritual well-being. In what ways can media shape our thoughts and our attitudes? And what steps can Christians take to be more discerning about their choices? Number 4, Proverbs 23 and verse 31 warns against looking at alcoholic drinks, highlighting the power of suggestion. How can the media subtly encourage behavior or attitude that are contrary to our faith? And how can we believers guard ourselves against such influences? Number 5, Job 31:1 speaks of making a covenant with our eyes. What does this mean, and how can it be applied practically in our lives to ensure we don't compromise our values or our faith? And how might this practice help us to maintain spiritual purity and integrity? So that's it for lesson number 9. I'll look forward to seeing you as we get into lesson number 10.